In our last video, we saw that the draw loop is what we can use in our game lab environment to create animations. And we used that to make some things shake and wiggle. But I bet you were probably thinking, well, how do I make something move? Like if I'm trying to make Super Mario Brothers, Mario runs and jumps, and how do you make a sprite move like that? Well, this is where we learn about that. And as it says here in code.org, we're going to learn the counter pattern, and this is super important, one of the most important in all of programming. Now, the first thing you might be scratching your head about is, how can this be possible? Right? Look at line 7, counter equals counter plus 1. Is there any number that equals itself plus 1? I don't think that even exists, right? No matter what number you pick for counter, you add 1 to that number and it's not going to be the same. Okay, so this is where we need to kind of take a step back and think, we're not in algebra here. This is programming. And the difference here is that equals sign. That is not the same equals sign that you have in algebra. It doesn't mean the left side equals the right side. What it means is assignment. Right? This is JavaScript, and the equals symbol in JavaScript means take whatever's on the right and put that value into the variable that I've typed onto the left. Right? So whatever number counter is, I can add 1 to it and put it back into the counter variable. And if I put this in the draw loop, as you can see, that's going to keep happening 30 times a second. So the counter variable, which starts at 0, that's going to keep counting up 1 by 1, 30 times a second. And you can see that we've used the counter variable as the text size. And we've used the counter variable as the x value for the text. So they want you to make a prediction here. Counter goes up. Here's my prediction. Let's run it and see. And look at that. Now, I was wrong. I thought the counter was the x value for the text because I wasn't paying attention to my parameters. You see, in text, I don't even know where it is anymore. There it is, text. The first parameter is the string. So as you can see, the counter is the string that's being fed to the text, and that's why you can keep seeing the number changing as it goes higher. Interesting stuff, okay? Do watch the code.org video. It's very good. I'm going to talk about a couple more concepts myself. In lesson 4, you get your first try at doing this sort of thing yourself, at using the counter property. So they want you to add the code that makes the plane move to the right. They give you a comment telling you where to put it. I want you to pause this video and try to figure this out for yourself. I'm going to give you the answer when you hit play again. So I'm assuming you have paused it and you're doing this yourself. Now we want the plane to move to the right. So left and right is the x-axis. And we want that to go up. And I'm going to go up by 3 each frame because that's what they used for the jet. And there it is. Okay, the counter pattern. Bubble 5. Make your program animate like the thing on the right. My clue to you is your variable that's changing, right? Like in this case, it's going to be the x property of the fly object. That doesn't have to count up. You can make it count down as well. Chew on that for a bit. And finally, in Bubble 6, code.org teaches you about something very important that I want you to use often. And that is this debug console that they have pre-popped up for you. And they've got a couple of watchers in there. Now, watchers are properties or variables where when you run it, it shows you a running tally of what the value of that variable is. So in previous units, and lessons, I taught you to use console log in order to see the value of variables, but now you don't have to do that. You can just add a variable to the watch list. Okay, that can be any property, right? Like if I say mouse.scale and hit enter, it'll watch the scale of the mouse as the program is running. Okay, and that isn't changing, of course. But that's a great tool so that you can see what's actually happening inside of your program as you run it, to help you to get it do what you want it to do. Okay, so counter pattern, put it in the draw loop, things move. Good stuff.